That's not the point. The point is, who will stop me? Do not let your fire go out, sparked by irreplaceable spark in the hopeless swamps of the not quite, the not yet, and the not at all. Do not let the hero in your soul perish in lonely frustration for the life you deserved and have never been able to reach. The world you desire can be won. It exists. It is real. It is possible. It's yours. If you don't know, the thing to do is not to get scared, but to learn. Learn to value yourself, which means, fight for your happiness. I could die for you. But I couldn't, and wouldn't, live for you. Freedom, N. To ask nothing. To expect nothing. To depend on nothing. People think that a liar gains a victory over his victim. What I've learned is that a lie is an act of self-abdication, because one surrenders one's reality to the person to whom one lies, making that person one's master, condemning oneself from then on to faking the sort of reality that person's view requires to be faked. The man who lies to the world, is the world's slave from then on. There are no white lies, there is only the blackest of destruction, and a white lie is the blackest of all. Love is blind, they say, sex is impervious to reason and mocks the power of all philosophers. But, in fact, a person's sexual choice is the result in some of their fundamental convictions. Tell me what a person finds sexually attractive and I will tell you their entire philosophy of life. Show me the person they sleep with and I will tell you their valuation of themselves. No matter what corruption they're taught about the virtue of selflessness, sex is the most profoundly selfish of all acts, an act which they cannot perform for any motive but their own enjoyment. Just try to think of performing it in a spirit of selfless charity, an act which is not possible in self-abasement, only in self-exaltation, only on the confidence of being desired and being worthy of desire. It is an act that forces them to stand naked in spirit, as well as in body, and accept their real ego as their standard of value. They will always be attracted to the person who reflects their deepest vision of themselves, the person whose surrender permits them to experience, or to fake, a sense of self-esteem. Love is our response to our highest values, and can be nothing else. To say I love you, one must know first how to say the I. The creative man is motivated by the desire to achieve, not by the desire to beat others. I swear by my life and my love of it that I will never live for the sake of another man, nor ask another man to live for mine. Why do they always teach us that it's easy and evil to do what we want and that we need discipline to restrain ourselves? It's the hardest thing in the world to do what we want. And it takes the greatest kind of courage. I mean, what we really want. The smallest minority on earth is the individual. Those who deny individual rights cannot claim to be defenders of minorities. I started my life with a single absolute, that the world was mine to shape in the image of my highest values and never to be given up to a lesser standard, no matter how long or hard the struggle. The hardest thing to explain is the glaringly evident which everybody has decided not to see. If you saw Atlas, the giant who holds the world on his shoulders, if you saw that he stood, blood running down his chest, his knees buckling, his arms trembling but still trying to hold the world aloft with the last of his strength, and the greater his effort the heavier the world bore down upon his shoulders, what would you tell him? I don't know. What could he do? What would you tell him? To shrug. The man who does not value himself, cannot value anything or anyone. A man's sexual choice is the result in the sum of his fundamental convictions. He will always be attracted to the woman who reflects his deepest vision of himself, the woman whose surrender permits him to experience a sense of self-esteem. The man who is proudly certain of his own value, will want the highest type of woman he can find, the woman he admires, the strongest, the hardest to conquer, because only the possession of a heroine will give him the sense of an achievement. Have you felt it too? Have you seen how your best friends love everything about you except the things that count? And your most important is nothing to them, nothing, not even a sound they can recognize. To sell your soul is the easiest thing in the world. That's what everybody does every hour of his life. If I asked you to keep your soul, would you understand why that's much harder? If you tell a beautiful woman that she is beautiful, what have you given her? It's no more than a fact and it has cost you nothing. But if you tell an ugly woman that she is beautiful, You offer her the great homage of corrupting the concept of beauty. To love a woman for her virtues is meaningless. She's earned it, it's a payment, not a gift. But to love her for her vices is a real gift, unearned and undeserved. To love her for her vices is to defile all virtue for her sake, and that is a real tribute of love, because you sacrifice your conscience, your reason, your integrity and your invaluable self-esteem. Contradictions do not exist. Whenever you think that you are facing a contradiction, check your premises. You will find that one of them is wrong. My happiness is not the means to any end. It is the end. It is its own goal. It is its own purpose. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe my channel.